Fabinho to leave, Barella to sign, Jude to sign. That's the summer transfer window that Klopp is planning. This is the massive overhaul that he wants for Liverpool. It's a massive, massive transfer summer overhaul, guys. There's a lot happening. There's going to be some massive movement. We know this. This video is going to break it down. We're going to talk about all the types of transfers that Klopp wants, who's going to leave, who's going to stay, and just some interesting talking points. Can Liverpool get back to the summit? Can Klopp challenge again? Is this transition, this next era under Klopp, is he going to be able to get it back to the heights that he once had it at? It's very, very interesting talking points, but we're going to jump into this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new. And this is Liverpool's summer plan. Jurgen Klopp's plan. He's spoken about it a couple of times. He had a press conference just against Crystal Palace. Obviously, the game ended 0-0. Dreadful game that was. Need to wipe that from the memory. But he spoke about some things, and they're very telling things. And if you put some reports together, if you do your due diligence, you have a look, and I'll link some articles down below and stuff I'm referring to and what I've seen. It's just, he's highlighting some areas of what he wants to do. He's making things clear. Now, obviously, we know it's down to the owners. It's down to FSG. Do they want to spend? Are they going to back Klopp? And that's obviously the issue. It's always been the issue whether or not Klopp gets funding. So he can have these plans. Klopp can have this summer target and his overhaul complete, but ultimately if FSG don't back him, then it's going to be redundant. But basically, we're going to go through today and we're going to talk about the midfielders and the plan that Klopp wants to do. He mentioned about Barella. There's been some talks about Nico Barella at Inter Milan. Now, there was a report that Jurgen Klopp has sent one of his scouts out to watch an Inter Milan game, specifically to watch Nico Barella. Now, 60 to 66 million pounds is what Inter Milan want. Now, if you're asking me, for a player of his quality and his age, given his importance to Inter, that's a pretty good fee. And I know that sounds crazy, 66 million, whatever, but it's a pretty good fee in this market. And if we're going to sell, if we're going to reinvest, if we're going to try create that new engine room, then a 66 million on Barella, I think, could be a steal. Now, that obviously, how does that tie into Jude Bellingham? That's going to be the question. Can we afford both? Being Liverpool, probably not. But if we can sell some players, and there's been some links and there's been some reports that Klopp is unhappy with Fabinho. Klopp has had enough of Fabinho, and that maybe Liverpool would look to sell. 60 million. Real Madrid are there. Real Madrid are looking at him. That's the reports. Their interest is there, 60 million, which I think if you're going to get 60 million for Fabinho, you got to rip your fucking arm off for that. Because look, the guy was great. He was fabulous. But I think his time has been and gone. The legs look gone. Just his turn of pace. So many times this season, especially against Palace, a midfielder can get round him. He's got nothing. He can't catch up. And he's not the only one, but he's the only one that's got a little bit of value right now. So obviously we know that James Milner, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain are all going to leave. So there's three midfielders right there that you need to replace, right? And then you're going to be left with Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, Harvey Elliott, basically. Let's be honest. So we need midfielders. We know that. And I'm thinking that what Klopp maybe wants to do now is, hey, look, should we sell Fabinho, move him on, try to get some money, and then let's reinvest? Mason Mount has been spoken about a lot as a free contract, not signed a deal with Chelsea. He's there. He's an option. Klopp is interested in him. And I actually kind of think in a weird old way that Mason Mount might be good for Liverpool. So he's definitely there. Then you look at the likes of Jude Bellingham, obviously massive reports. We're still leading the chase, I would say, for Jude. I think a little bit of things have to get over the line, but we are right there. And I think we've probably made the most ground with Jude Bellingham. And I don't think the position in the table really affects his decision. Obviously, we finished 10th or whatever. He's not going to be fucking happy. He's going to be pretty pissed off. But I think we've sold him the package. And I think we've sold him the identity of Liverpool and Klopp and what he can bring going forward, Jude, and kind of making him that main man, being that Steven Gerrard type guy. I think we've sold it to him. And I think now it's just ironing out that fee. I really do. I really think that Jude will end up a Liverpool player, given if FSG want to pay. That's all it is. If FSG don't pay, we won't get him. And that's been my marker from the standpoint. But also Nico Barella. If we can get Nico Barella as well, so you got Barella, Bellingham, and Mason Mount. Maybe that's the three that come in. Obviously, Mateus Nunes from Wolves is obviously an option too. Caicedo from Brighton looked to be an option earlier on in the window and earlier on this year, but he's probably been priced out. 70 million plus they want from him. Obviously, Declan Rice is also still an option, but given his tag of 100 million plus, I can't see Liverpool getting him and Bellingham. So I don't think that Liverpool will go for him, but they will sign 2 of the 3 midfielders. That is going to happen. It will happen. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. And it's going to be a very, very interesting summer. And I think if Klopp can get some backing, that's always the thing, guys. If he gets the backing, I think he would turn us in to a title challenge team once again. I can't see how he doesn't. You know, like, you look at what Klopp did when he first come in, and given the investment, given the right players, he turns up and he provides, and he turns his side into a team that's very, very hard to beat and very, very hard to stop. And going forward this year, obviously we lost Mane, and we've got Gakpo, Diaz, and Nunes and Jota and Salah. That will click. It will click, and the goals will just be coming for fun. It's just going to take a bit of time. We were very fortunate when Salah come in. He blended straight into Firmino and Mane, and the rest is history. But this takes a little bit of time. I'm not too worried about going forward. We need to get this midfield done, because right now the defense is looking atrocious, and it's looking more atrocious because they don't have cover. We know how Liverpool play. We play with those high wing backs, and what gives us so much success is because we could trap the opposition in their half, and we could continuously get attack after attack after attack, and that's how we would generate our goals. But we can't do that anymore because we turn the ball over and the midfield can't get back. And then, of course, we can't get that springboard going forward because they don't have the legs. So there's a whole new revolution of a midfield. It's identified. We know it. It will happen. It will happen. I believe the summer targets have already been identified. Bellingham, Barella, which is a new one. But I think with Klopp sending a scout there, that there's a bit of substance to that. I think there's a bit of substance to it. Whether or not it happens, obviously, we don't know. But Fabinho being sold could be a massive, massive turning point in Liverpool's sort of, trajectory. Because if you asked me 2 or 3 years ago, I would have said that Fabinho was probably the most integral part. Right now, if you can cash in and get value on him, then you do what you have to do. Anyway, that about wraps up, guys. Klopp's transfer summer plans. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, make sure you check out the links in the description for the TikTok, for the Twitch. Trying to keep up with the Twitch streams. It's very, very hard at the moment. Timing and all that type of stuff. But we'll try and get back into it. Obviously, a few games coming up midweek and on the weekends and stuff like that. So we'll see what we can do. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.